Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you had a great time. Today, we're going to continue with more topics and activities that you must do for this week. So, let's start now. Helping others. Big English plus 5. Student's book. Pages 36 to 50. The objective of this unit is to talk about helping others and fundraising money. But what does fundraising mean? Fund means money. Raise means collect. So fundraising means to collect money. En español, fundraising es colecta de fondos para una causa. In this part, we're going to discuss some fundraising activities that we can do to help others. Read the situation. The school choir is entering a big singing competition. The choir wants to buy new outfits for it. They need to raise money to buy them. Fundraising activities. 1. We could have a cake sale. We could sell cookies, pies, and cakes. 2. We could have an art fair. Local artists could exhibit and sell their work. 3. We could have a concert. We could perform songs and dances with a specific theme. The choir has ideas for how to advertise their fundraising activities. These are the activities. 1. We're going to design colorful posters and hand them up around school. 2. I'm going to write an article about our activities for the school newspaper. 3. I'm going to make a video of the choir performing and post it on the school website. Activity 1. Read pages 38 and 39 in your student's book and answer the questions in exercise 5. Activity 2. Complete these exercises in your workbook, pages 32 and 33, from exercise 1 to 4. Page 34, exercises 5 and 6. In these activities, you're going to practice vocabulary related to fundraising. Fundraising activities. These students need to raise money for their class trip. What could they do? 1. She could help bake cookies. 2. They're going to hold up signs by the street. 3. He's going to show her how to post a video on the school website. 4. She could help them put up posters around the school. If you noticed, in the previous sentences we used could and going to talk about the activities. But what's the difference between could and going to? We use could to express possibility or make suggestions. Could es el pasado del verbo can, que significa poder. For example, how could we raise money for a club? ¿Cómo podríamos recaudar dinero para un club? We could have a car wash. Podríamos hacer un lavado de autos. Another example is like the second one. How much? could they charge to wash one car? They could charge $10 for a small car. For a bigger car, they could charge 15. We use am, is, or are going to talk about events in the future. Here there are some examples. Are you going to have a concert? Yes, we are. ¿Vas a tener un concierto? Sí. How are you going to tell people about it? We're going to make posters. Now, we're going to review how to make sentences using going to. If it's an affirmative, we have to use this structure. We start with the subject, then the verb to be in present, am, is, or are, going to, the base form of the verb, and the complement. Like this example, I'm going to bake cookies. Voy a hornear galletas. If it's a negative sentence, it's the same structure. The only thing that is going to change is I'm not, isn't, and aren't. Then going to, base form of the verb, and the complement. Peter isn't going to write an article. Peter no va a escribir un artículo. If it's a yes or no question or a WH question, we have to use this structure. We start with the WH word, am, is, or are, then the subject, going to, the base form of the verb, and the complement. Are you going to take pictures? Yes, I am. No, I'm not. What are you going to do? I'm going to play soccer. Remember how to use the verb to be in present. If it's an affirmative, we use I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, they are. If it's negative, I am not, you aren't, he isn't, she isn't, it isn't, we aren't, they aren't. Activity 3. Complete the exercises 10 and 11 on page 41 in your student's book. In exercise 10, you have to complete the questions using how could or what could plus one of the words or phrases from the green box. In exercise 11, you have to complete the sentences with the correct form of be going to. Activity 4. Complete these exercises in your workbook, pages 36 and 37. In these exercises, you're going to continue practicing could and be going to. Activity 5. Complete the following exercises in your workbook, pages 36 and 37. In this part, we're going to continue with the next topic. First, you have to read the following conversation that is on page 44 in your student's book and answer this question. Has Brian ever been fishing? Look at these pictures. We're going to talk about life experiences. 1. They have been fishing. 2. She has climbed a mountain. 3. He has ridden a horse. 4. I have met a famous person. 5. We have been to Europe. 6. I have acted in a school play. In the previous sentences, we use the present perfect tense. We use it to talk about experiences that happened at an indefinite time in the past. But how do we make sentences in present perfect? If it's an affirmative sentence, we start with the subject, then have or has, the past participle verb, and the complement. For example, I have been to the USA, or the contraction, I've been to the USA. John has eaten Thai food. He's eaten Thai food. If it's a negative sentence, we start with the subject, haven't or hasn't, then the past participle verb, and the complement. Like these examples. They haven't graduated from school. Julia hasn't driven a car. If it's a yes or no question, we start with have or has, then the subject, the past participle verb, and the complement. Have you ever been to Europe? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. If the subjects are I, you, we, or they, we use have or the negative haven't. If it's he, she, or it, we use has or hasn't. How do we identify past participle verbs? There are regular and irregular verbs in the past participle form. If it's a regular verb, it ends in -ed. In this chart, we have some regular verbs. In the first column, we have the infinitive form. In the second, the simple past. And in the third one, the past participle. Act, acted, acted. Climb, climbed, climbed. Cook, cooked, cooked. Finish, finished, finished. Play, played, played. Watch, watched, watched. Now we're going to check some irregular verbs on page 45 in your student's book. Look at these charts. We have to complete the third column with the past participle verbs. Use the words from the box. In the first column, we have the infinitive form. In the second one, the simple past. And in the third one, the past participle. Look at the first example. Be is the infinitive form, was and were the simple past, and being is the past participle. In the second chart, meet is the infinitive form, met the simple past, and met the past participle. Remember that we use the past participle with the present perfect tense. Activity 6. To practice the present perfect tense, we're going to complete some exercises in your workbook, pages 40 and 41. In exercise 19, you have to circle the correct form of the verb in present perfect. In exercise 20, you have to match the questions with the answers. 21. You have to complete the sentences using have or has plus the past participle form of the verb in parentheses. In 22, you have to put the sentences in order. In exercise 23, you have to make questions using have you ever plus the information that it's there. In exercise 24, you have to answer the questions in exercise 23.